My PowerPoint is on sexual abuse and how we can help prevent sexual abuse. 1 in 4 women will be sexually assaulted, and most abusers get away with it. To put that into perspective, think of 4 women that are very important to you in your life. 1 of those 4 women will be sexually assaulted in their life. We as a society need to realize that sexual abuse affects everyone. For example, 1 of those 4 women you thought of would be sexually abused, which would affect them, which would in turn affect you. The best thing you can do to help your loved ones and victims is to be supportive and approachable so they feel like they can talk to you and that it is a safe space for them. We also need to realize that we are more involved in sexual abuse than we think. We have all been a part of groups where someone has made a sexualized comment and that comment was brushed off instead of being shut down. These sexual abuse victims, are affected mentally as well. Some common ways they are affected are depression, PTSD, social isolation, anxiety, destructive behavior, and suicidal thoughts. Some ways these victims are affected emotionally are being lonely, low self-esteem, anger and aggression towards their abuser, destructive behavior, and shutting everyone out. These victims are also affected in their future relationships. Being sexually abused causes them to have fear toward their next relationship. For example, fear of getting hurt, fear of intimacy with this new partner, fear of parenting, and fear of their child being sexually abused. And if you were married before you were sexually abused, fear of what your spouse will think of you and if they will want to still stay with you. It can also affect just any type of their future relationship. Same thing with their friends. Their previous friends could have reactions and make them feel blamed, which in turn would make them not want to tell their friends. They also want to shut everyone out and socially isolate, making it harder for them to make friends. It is also not uncommon to hear of a victim going for a job interview and their interviewer recognizing them from their content online from when they were sexually abused. Sexual abuse obviously is not held contained with the internet. The internet makes it easier to spread and harder to contain. It also makes it easier for adults to trick kids and coerce them into thinking they are someone else and tricking them to do things that they are not understanding and would not normally do. Also, certain apps have certain things that are able to make them disappear or go away after like 10-15 seconds, but really once it is sent, it's never in your possession again, and it could be shared online. Now, things we can do to prevent sexual abuse. We as a society need to educate ourselves with these apps and warn children and make them aware about them. We need to make sure that they know how to use these apps and to be aware of sexual abuse so they are not being tricked and coerced. And if you see something online, report it as soon as possible so we can get that content down as soon as possible. It is also very important to be supportive and approachable for these victims. It helps tremendously when we are supportive and approachable and they do not feel blamed. And like mentioned earlier, putting an end to those sexualized comments in groups